I go on to JROTC. Now, when most people think of JROTC, they think of the seriousness, but in all reality, it's anything but. When we join JROTC, we join as unfit, uncivilized teenagers, but when we leave, we're nothing more but a close-knit family.
Well, the last 5 years that I was on active duty, I was actually a professor at a university with a senior ROTC program. I thought when I retired I'd go back to a unit, probably overseas. But I just enjoyed teaching so much that as I got towards the end of my career, I said, I think I really like teaching. Let me take a look at what the junior ROTC programs are about. There happened to be a program available in Washington State, so I submitted my paperwork, retired, and came here, and just enjoyed being a student.
I was the National Guard recruiter here from 2001 until 2011, so for about 10 years. And I worked with the program a lot, being a recruiter, and I worked a lot with Sergeant Taylor, who was the Army instructor and the rifle coach before I got here. Sergeant Taylor and I worked together as hunter education instructors, and when he got close to retiring, he called me up and asked if I had my 20 years in the Army yet. Because to teach ROTC at high school, you have to be retired from the Army. You have to have 20 years. So he called me up and said, do you have your 20 yet? And I said, yeah, I just hit my 20. And he says, good, I'm ready to retire. Why don't you come interview for my job?
Every year it's nice to see students develop from freshmen to seniors, and so you see the growth in them, the change in them, the maturity in them. And every year when you see that group of seniors walk across the stage, you're so proud that they've become something a little bit more than when they came to WaHi.
Probably when the rifle team won the national championship.
You were right. Why did you?
And then this year, Daniel Anger won the ROTC national championship, and Nathan Brewer won the Army ROTC national championship. So I'd say between those three things happening, that's probably been my best memory of the last 5 years. Possibly when Allie Jurgensen got a phone call saying that she had been accepted to the Air Force Academy to shoot at.
Well, truth be told, I needed money to go to college.
You should serve your country. So I knew all while I was growing up that I would probably serve in the military.
And now on to teachers and staff at WaHi.
Well, I always wanted to be a math teacher since first grade. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I always knew it. So I went to Oregon State University and got my math degree, and I started teaching right out of college.
Here from California 22 years ago because we were looking for a community that was a little more relaxed, a little bit safer, a better place to raise our children. So from California we looked around in Colorado, Oregon, and we found Walla Walla, fell in love with it, and don't regret it for a second.
I wanted to be principal here because I was an assistant principal at 2 other schools in the league, in Pasco and at Kennewick. And my wife is from Walla Walla, so when the position came open 5 years ago, we decided we'd throw our hat in the ring and see what happened, and we got it, and we moved back, and we're around her family a lot more, and it's a great place to be.
Teaching traffic safety education, and I also taught math, and so it came about that an opening was here for TSC, and I kind of got recruited to be a traffic safety education teacher. Had to go back and get my degree, and then traffic safety education, PE, traffic safety education, math, and then when traffic safety education was no longer offered, I moved into science because I have a science endorsement.
I love to go to Belize, and I can rake sand really well. So I would just.
I think I'd be in business. I think I've always liked business. I still kind of do some on the side, and I like to wheel and deal. That's what I have to do with students all the time, right? Wheel and deal, like Brady Parsons. And so that's, there's not a whole lot of difference. I would probably go into a different venue, but probably still continue to do the same thing where I'm dealing with people and hopefully making a living out of it.
To be honest, there aren't a lot of problems here with high school kids. I think probably the biggest problem is simply there are so many things to do. Some kids don't come out to some of the really important events. We want all kids to come to all the football games and all the basketball games. We want kids to go to prom and all the dances. We want people to go to the senior party. If you're a senior, even if you can't afford it, you need to be at the senior party. That's just the way things go. I think it's just the idea that we want all the kids to participate in as many things as possible. But as far as real problems go, I've been at schools where there's been real problems with students. This isn't it.
Avoiding the distractions that come around they come at you from all angles, whether it's video games or social media or just I would say just the distractions that are fun. There's nothing wrong with them, but they keep a lot of kids from really excelling and reaching their potential as students and as responsible citizens in the community.
Great if, as teachers, there would be some more opportunities to interact with each other on a social level as well as a professional level. I think as a whole district, we only get together maybe once or twice a year, but I know it would be really fun to be able to have
For outside activities, not just what's going on in the classroom, but I wish kids were a little bit more excited about other things like sports, ROTC, band, drama, whatever it may be. I just wish all kids were involved, not just, we have a large percentage that are involved, but I wish all kids would get involved.
I think everyone needs to take a little more interest in each other and to care about who they are as a person and what they're doing and just be a little more interested in each other.
I've thought about this many times. I think I would try to get a lot more parent involvement. Their parents kind of, when kids get to the high school level, they kind of drop out of the scene. I think in 22 years I've had one parent that's shown up at school, and it's like, they should still be involved. Kids need their parents. They need the guidance, and they need the structure. They need just a lot of things like that will help the students succeed.
I just think that every single program available in all of the schools, but particularly when you come to high school, every single program should be available to every single student. And there's some folks that think that they're not allowed to go into programs or they can't be part of programs. And the biggest way to change that is to share information. And so I would say to the district, let's ensure that we're sharing as much information as we can and being as open and honest so that everybody has a chance to do whatever they want to do. And nobody feels like there's something in our high school.
Throughout this program's history, for a long time, ROTC history, until the 1980s, 1 year in ROTC was actually mandatory. I think it would be cool to go back to that and see what that would be like, so that every person at WaHi did a year of ROTC and learned about the discipline and the marching and the winning colors and the personality inventories and the stuff that we do. I think it would be beneficial for everyone to do ROTC. So I guess if I could change one thing, maybe I'd go back to that.
There's one in every crowd that brings the party and the sound. Good time Charlie with the high whiskey band, hellbound. He's got the next round, but he always drinks for free. There's one in every crowd. It's usually hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. There's one in every crowd.
It's a good feeling. It's positive, but most of it's negative because people hate school, so they just ruin everything.
Okay. Okay.
Busy.
Fun.
Education. Great. Onions.
Fantastic.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay.
This seems kind of awkward.